Thank you for your profound observations. I thank you for showing me the light. I will once again produce a super roast battle 2 weeks from now so we can wrong every right that was left unturned.
While Dennis would later retract many of his poorly thought out comments, he had already started something he couldn't finish, as Charlie uploaded another video titled My Response to the Drama.
I don't want this to be construed as some kind of personal attack or anything personal. Like I said when talking about the event, I don't really know Def Noodles. I don't hate him. I've only seen a couple of things on Twitter where he said or did some bad shit that people were dunking on him for.
Charlie went on to analyze Dennis's framing of the situation as allegations.
Here we are once again, addressing more allegations.
This is such a weird way of starting the video because I didn't make any allegations against him. I made jokes about the event and talked about it,
as well as mentioning the damage that he was doing to his fan base and career.
When he posted this video, he lost 3,000 subscribers over the course of 6 hours because, again, his fan base didn't sign up to hear him throw these like self-pity parties here.
In an effort to extend an olive branch to Dennis, Charlie would draw attention to his tendency to make matters worse by impulsively responding to any form of criticism and gave some advice on how to overcome it.
Every YouTuber's made a video they regret, obviously. And I think that's what he's going through at the moment, where he's impulsively responding to things that are kind of non-issues.
Dennis had a pattern of giving knee-jerk reactions to criticism and injecting satire or comedic elements into serious discussions. But why was he like this? What happened during Dennis's YouTube career that made him think it would be a good idea to respond to valid criticism with jokes and satirical statements? Dennis's career as a YouTuber began in late 2018, making reaction and commentary videos on various popular Filipino singers. While he initially didn't garner significant viewership, Dennis seemed to enjoy creating videos for a small but loyal fan base.
This is my first video on this channel. I call it Def Noodles because I love noodles. And I also love learning about Filipino culture.
As time passed, Dennis gradually built up confidence as a creator and developed his own signature style of content, which aired more on a comedic side. He also branched out into making Facebook and Reddit meme compilation videos to further boost his growth on YouTube. By September 2019, Dennis had surpassed over 150,000 subscribers and was bold enough to showcase his work to much larger creators, specifically the commentary YouTuber Kavos, during his Make or Break livestream. Unfortunately, he didn't get the reaction he was looking for.
Area 51 raid me. Uh-oh. Where are they?
Oh, wait a minute. God. This guy literally just reads out memes.
This would mark the first time Dennis faced any real critique, and it was apparent he wasn't comfortable with it, as he later uploaded a video titled, Kavos Roasted My Channel, My Response.
No, that's totally fine. I totally get it. Outside of the fact that I'm a douchebag, I don't find myself to be a douchebag. I don't know what in my video caused you to think that I'm a douchebag, but I totally understand that, and that's totally your prerogative.
The entire video was of Dennis deflecting every piece of constructive advice that Kavos offered to protect his ego. Despite how much Kavos's comments had affected him, Dennis would try to brush it off by stating,
Thankfully, I'm at a point in my life where I have self-confidence, and I'm not going to place my entire self-worth on someone else's opinion of me.
However, a week later, Dennis showed his true feelings on the matter with a now deleted video titled, Kavos Made Me Want to Quit YouTube. In Dennis's mind, there was no room for negative feedback towards anything he created, and anyone giving such feedback could not see the true value of his content. Even now, he was deluding himself into thinking that there was nothing wrong with his videos and that Kavos was simply being malicious. Dennis failed to understand that criticism was part of being a content creator, and he was about to be taught that lesson the hard way. In response to the criticism from Kavos, Dennis would completely switch up his style of content, from meme reactions to reporting and publishing news stories.
The internet is just one big sandcastle that keeps getting destroyed. With Jeffree Star getting exposed for allegedly stealing from a small makeup brand, things getting even worse for David Dobrik, and Vlog Squad member Jeff Wittick making an apology video, which ends up being an attack video of Trisha Paytas and the author of the Insider article.
Naturally, covering such topics would ultimately result in some form of negative feedback, which was something Dennis simply couldn't stand. To protect his ego, Dennis would include the following disclaimer in his channel's About section. Def Noodles is a character created by Dennis Vitoza, meant to satirize some of the most deranged, toxic, and destructive aspects of internet culture. The opinions and thoughts expressed by Def Noodles are not a reflection of Dennis Faitosa's beliefs. In theory, this would protect Dennis from any backlash he incurred while covering various topics, and Dennis was certainly going to need said protection. As he went about spreading news headlines, he also earned a reputation for misrepresenting not just facts about the stories he covered, but the people involved in them as well. These misrepresentations include 1. Labeling John Swan as alt-right when covering his drama with Dream. 2. Maliciously framing a clip of Nicholas Diorio as weaponizing his viewers. And 3. Publishing various fake allegations when covering James Charles. Whenever he was rightfully called out for these blunders, Dennis reverted to calling everything satire and that it shouldn't be taken seriously. In essence, Dennis wanted to say anything he wanted about whoever he wanted without any recourse. In addition, Dennis's channel had grown to over 500,000 subscribers, which afforded a certain level of credibility despite his actions. However, it was only a matter of time before Dennis got a taste of his own medicine, when on the 21st of May 2021, Keemstar made a Twitter joke post calling Def Noodles, not Dennis, a PDF file. Def Noodles has allegedly girls from ages 12 to 15. Big YouTuber source. Victims are scared of him and wish to stay anonymous, but may come forward soon. Hashtag drama alert. As you'd expect, Dennis didn't take this joke lightly and opted to sue Keemstar for spreading false allegations.
Anyway, folks, as you read in the title of the video, I am suing Keemstar. Now, for those of you who started following me recently and are not aware, nearly 1 year ago, Keemstar knowingly published false and defamatory allegations against me.
There was already a long-running feud between the two, and this lawsuit only added fuel to the fire. Dennis would even go as far as asking other creators that Keemstar had wronged to join in on the lawsuit. Fortunately for Keemstar, his lawyer pointed out that the accusations were made towards Def Noodles, not Dennis, which led to the case making no sense at all. Ironically, Dennis had done the exact same thing he was suing Keemstar for several times, and was about to do it again to another creator named Papa Gut. On the 8th of February, Dennis and Papa Gut had a debate over his coverage of the B family drama, which was an active issue at the time.
Well, I will say that it's interesting that we're focusing so much on her crying, but not so much on the other aspect where we have like something that's been a very historical problem of maturing young black kids and then over-prescribing punishment. There's a big problem with them intentionally getting the age wrong and then over-prescribing punishment. Their punishment was that they think that he should get banned from YouTube. They're going to follow him across.
And I said it in my video. I said that it's never going to happen.
Well, that's never going to happen is different from do you think it should happen? Did you think Killick should get banned?
Look, I'm against deplatforming. I've been deplatformed myself on Twitter. I don't think anybody should ever lose their platform for any fucking reason.
Things would only become more heated as their debate went on.
Your jokes are, if she bleeds, she breeds. If she can breed.
See, I knew it. You just brought those up to try to deplatform me. It's a pathetic move.
I'm not trying to deplatform you. I'm fucking
I literally explained why that was wrong. And your perspective is that joke was appropriate. Incredibly disingenuous mind. Everything that you say is so bad faith. And I'm expected to sit here while you yell for 75% of the debate.
Dennis would walk away from that debate holding a grudge against Papa Gut, and inevitably making false allegations against him as well. MF got famous on TikTok for joking about effing year-old girls, then gets offended someone jokes about him. But you know, he was right. I shouldn't have said that. I should have said instead he makes himself so small in his videos to hide the fact he looks like a PDF file. Within hours, Papa Gut would make a video response to the situation, in a video titled, Def Noodles is a bad person.
He retweeted the context. Here's the context. The joke was, if she's old enough to bleed, she's old enough to breed. Thank you very much, Andre Lopez, for the advice, right? Somehow, he looked at this and said, I'm gonna nail Papa Gut on this point.
Topics regarding SA were a sensitive spot for Papa Gut due to his wife being a victim of such, and he sadly broke down into tears on camera.
Now I just put in a situation where I feel like I just have to bare my entire soul, and you're gonna listen to this and you're gonna laugh and you're gonna think it's funny. But you wanna know what, Dennis? It's not funny.
According to Know Your Meme, Dennis would make an apology video regarding the situation, but that wouldn't stop him from making a t-shirt of Papa Gut crying.
Yes, he made a t-shirt, okay, of me crying. And this is like the 10th time that he's put this up. I think that he thinks it upsets me.
Dennis had proven himself to be very thin-skinned when it came to any form of criticism or call-out. He'd vengefully attack anyone who he thought bruised his ego and labeled his mistakes as jokes. However, what he did during his second roast battle showed how far Dennis was willing to go to sustain his fragile sense of self. Fast forward to the 2nd of September 2022, Dennis is once again hosting a super roast battle, but this time highlights with a twist. One of his biggest critics was in attendance. A creator by the name of Salvo Pancakes had taken Dennis's offer to join the roast battle and brought dozens of fans with him. While Salvo was unable to attend the first roast battle, his presence this time dramatically changed the atmosphere in the venue, as he began riling up the crowd before the show even started. Given the circumstances, Dennis was getting the lively show he wanted and would probably have had a successful show if things continued this way. All Dennis had to do was come out and face Salvo like a true comedian. But sadly, he had other ideas. In one impulsive act, Dennis had shown everyone how hypocritical he was. Remember, Dennis had asked creators to come duke it out in a roast battle, and when they did show up, he shoved them back into the crowd. Dennis didn't care about the roast battle, and instead focused on sustaining his overinflated ego, an ego that Salvo was about to cut down to size with just one comment.
If you were here, there would be nobody in the crowd.
There was no coming back for Dennis's reputation after that night, as every commentary channel on YouTube covered the disaster, especially Charlie.
Though I think ultimately Def Noodles as well as the community realized it's not that big of a deal. It's not a crime to hold a bad comedy night. But you know what is a crime? Assault. And that happened last night at Def Noodle's most recent Super Roast battle.
Charlie continued by grilling Dennis for a scummy overreaction during the event.
It's a big overreaction from Def Noodles here. Unless, of course, there was an imminent threat where the guy was on stage talking about he's going to start throwing hands with everyone in the front row or something, or making like legitimate threats to the crowd. He pushes him from behind and then hides behind his friends to keep the other guy off of him, which I think is pretty lame. If you're going to start some shit, you got to finish that shit.
In the weeks and months that followed, Dennis lost 90% of his viewership and what little respect anyone had left for him. While Dennis would try to save his channel by switching up his content to challenge videos, viewers still dislike-bombed his content or didn't watch them at all. It's unclear if Dennis was trying to be funny or if he had truly given up on his YouTube, but he had uploaded 2 videos challenging his dwindling audience to unsubscribe. Unsurprisingly, Dennis's channel fell to all-time lows, as many of his videos failed to surpass 2,000 views, and his subscribers were dropping off by the day. The turning point for Dennis would come after reacting to Sunny V2 documenting his downfall. While the video has since been deleted, a creator by the name of Low Lies would cover it on her channel.
A video was made by the creator Sunny V2, and it documented his downfall and his mistakes that got him to where he is now. He did a reaction to this where he literally said nothing the entire time, just watched it, and he was just a little blurp in the corner. It seems like watching that video really opened up his eyes and it really sunk in, and maybe it already had.
Another deleted video that showcased how far Dennis had spiraled was his video titled Coming Clean About Everything, which was covered on his Reddit page. I watched Steph's video about coming clean on everything that he posted a few days ago. It's hard to tell if it's genuine or not, since he's been shitposting in this subreddit for a while, as well as shitposting weird obtuse videos on his main YouTube channel for a while now. But I do think he wants to do better. I think Uber was a good step for him. Dennis needs a real job to humble him, and particularly something that takes him offline. These constant apology videos and reflection videos where he overshares just become exhausting when the guy needs to stop feeling entitled to a YouTube audience. The posts from Dennis that were referenced were the ones that came after he realized the true damage he had done to his career. I'm a manipulative, attention-seeking hoe. Should I quit and get a real job? Should I just end it all? What job should I get? I am broke and can't afford therapy. What should I do? Should I go to rehab? I want to give up. How can I make things right with everyone I've wronged? I am so depressed. Dennis's need to feed his ego had cost him everything, and it was only when things were at their worst that he truly understood that.
I give up. I really do. I give up. It's over. It just really fucked it all up. I was really embarrassed and ashamed to admit it, but I did it. It's all my fault. And I've put myself here. And I've just come to terms with the fact that there's no way out.
Although those that didn't believe Dennis was genuine about his declining emotional state, the fact that he had to cancel 2 of his shows at the comedy club due to an emergency raised some concerns. Thankfully, Keemstar later confirmed that Dennis was still alive. Checked in with Dev Noodles, he is alive. All can say for now now for those that are concerned. Dennis's obsession with being seen as a funny comedian was what truly led to his downfall. This obsession pushed him to create a comedic persona that poorly reported the news, and eventually started the roast battle that destroyed his reputation as well as his finances. To make matters even worse, Dennis didn't have the mental stability to endure the criticism that comes with being a creator, which became the root cause of many controversies. All these factors slowly eroded the trust and respect Dennis had with his fan base, as many of them decided to leave rather than watch his self-destructive antics. As of May 2024, Dennis has wiped all of his social media platforms of prior posts, and it's unlikely he'll ever be ready to return. However, we can only hope that he sees the error of his ways and takes necessary steps to put his life back together. At the end of the day, he doesn't deserve to have his life ruined over being unfunny and not being able to take criticism. Click the video on screen to find out how Penguin Zero destroyed YouTube's worst content thief. Brent Rivera's decade-long career as an influencer has seen him commit countless crimes against the YouTube community, from blatantly stealing whole video ideas from creators to completely copying pasting his face over other viral thumbnails. Whilst this scumbaggery has garnered Brent Rivera over 30 million subscribers and 8 billion views, it was only a matter of time before he did something so outrageous that Penguin Zero, aka Charlie, was forced to not just call him out, but demolish his reputation as well.
And now you look like an absolute fool, and you've ruined your reputation even further, Brent, if such a thing was even possible. Somehow your audience of children are actually being aware of this now, which is the last thing I imagine you wanted to happen with the drama. You're just doing all of the wrong things here. You f***ed up. You should have just moved on from it, apologized for it, and been done with it.
Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be diving deep into the career of one of YouTube's largest MrBeast clones and most hated creators in general, Brent Rivera. We'll look at the controversies that transformed his image from a standard children's entertainer to one of the most hated creators on the platform, and examine why his attempts to cover things up only made it worse. Long before Brent amassed a staggering 30 million subscribers on YouTube, he mostly made short comedy sketches on Vine, which earned him over 8 million followers on the platform.
Hey, Lexi. It's fake.
You're fake.
Hey, Mom.
What? Don't. It's fake.
Don't break.
Brent.
Following the end of Vine in 2017, Brent would move completely to his at the time 3 million subscribers YouTube channel to continue publishing his viral comedy skits. Whilst Brent has always enjoyed viral success on every platform he's been on, he has also faced numerous accusations of plagiarism and employing strange tactics to boost his viewership. Back in 2014, numerous users on Twitter would allege that Brent was stealing video ideas from Tumblr and other sources. Why do girls like freak out over Brent Rivera? He isn't funny. Stealing all your vines from Tumblr doesn't make someone funny. Brent Rivera ain't creative at all, shaking my head. Anyone can steal Tumblr quotes and say them in 6 seconds. As well as, P.S. Brent, stop stealing ideas from Tumblr. You're not original. While these tweets didn't include any evidence to back up their claims, it was clear that there was an air of distrust around the authenticity of the content that made Brent popular. People even coined a term in the Urban Dictionary to describe how Brent stole jokes from other creators. Brent Rivera, it's when you steal a joke from Tumblr or Twitter and use it as your own. The origin of the word comes from well-known Viner, Brent Rivera, because his recognition of stealing Tumblr posts and Twitter posts. One of the earlier examples of Brent stealing another creator's video concept was his video titled Things That Make Me Mad from 2012, which was a direct copy of Wasabi Productions' video of the same title.
Oh, I gotta pee. But I'm so comfortable. But I have to pee. But I'm so comfortable. Damn it. When I get in bed and I decide that I have to pee. Crap. I have to pee.
These elements of plagiarism would only become more striking in later years, as Brent made the shift away from comedy sketches to challenge content. From copying trendy thumbnails to taking whole video ideas from other creators, Brent was more than willing to undermine other community members for selfish gains, something that he was called out for numerous times.
Brent Rivera, you are most likely to copy my thumbnails. One of the biggest awards of the night. Congratulations on that.
Brent wouldn't stop at just using other creators to get ahead, as he frequently humiliated his family members and even sliced his own sister for views. It didn't matter what he had to do or who he had to steal from. Brent would stop at nothing to grow his reach and revenue on YouTube. However, Brent's underhanded approach to content creation was about to cause him more harm than good. On the 7th of February 2023, a creator named Tyler Oliveira posted a video titled, "Brent Rivera called the cops on me." And as the title suggests, the interaction between the two wasn't exactly a positive one.
That's Brent Rivera calling security and then the cops on me after I asked him this.
Do you fake your videos?
No. It all started when I was staying at the Shining Hotel, came out of my room, and randomly found these two girls in the hallway.
Throughout the video, Tyler showcased a number of heated interactions between him and Brent, with the first being caused by a simple question.
So aware that I was in the middle of a fake YouTube prank, I wanted to see if Brent would admit it, because we all know his videos are fake and he steals everyone's ideas.
I have a question for you. Do you hire these people?
And unsurprisingly, they made a cameo in Brent's newest video. It's almost like they know each other.
Yeah, question. Yeah. Do you fake your videos?
No. Do you fake your videos?
No.
All right. Okay. Have fun, guys.
I don't know what's going on here.
Clearly, Brent didn't find my question amusing, so I walked back to my hotel room and prepared to go on my tour of the hotel.
Things would only get worse on their second confrontation.
Don't have on your 100 subscribers,
We get that louder.
you don't have room with direction like that. Hey, we're filming our thing. You film yours. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's not be.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Let's not be disrespectful, okay?
Well, you guys shit talking the iPhone
I
though.
don't appreciate the disrespect.
What disrespect? I literally walked out of my hotel room and nearly had a heart attack.
Why did you walk up to us, like, enter our space?
I paid $400 a night for the hotel. What do you mean?
Yeah, if we were normal guests, that would...
Whoa. Okay. Normal guests? You think you're elevated beyond an average human being? You've ascended the human... Wait, what are you... Wait, who are you?
On the third meetup, however, it seemed Brent had enough of the trolling and threatened to have Tyler kicked out of the hotel.
Finish your video?
No.
Oh, we're not gonna be able to finish it then.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, they're gonna come and get you guys. They're gonna kick you out.
What do you mean? We paid $375, right?
I'm sorry.
I'm not as rich as you, bro.
This is the third time harassing us. Don't harass.
Whoa. You recorded me.
I'm recording you because you guys are coming up to every single second.
Well, we walked in. We're on the same floor.
All right, well, he's coming now. So, I mean, you guys are just going to have to... Look at the guy behind you. It's like, what do you mean? Who is that guy? Why?
I have no clue.
Listen, this is our personal space, and you're recording inside.
You closed the door, and then you opened it.
A threat that Brent would later go through with, as hotel security would come to escort Tyler off the premises.
Security came to us and said this.
Now let's get back to stuff, for sure. Can I propose a compromise? No.
The SSPD's on the way, so you have until they get here.
For sure. Unfortunate.
After packing up our stuff, security ushered us out. And then we met the police downstairs and they said this.
Yeah, I appreciate both of you have been very cooperative and compliant with us, and I appreciate you being reasonable about it.
For sure. My apologies. Sorry, guys.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, Brent Rivera, my #1 enemy right now. He can suck my balls.
From Brent's perspective, he had won the confrontation by having Tyler kicked out, but little did he know that this battle was far from over. In the coming days, Tyler's video would rack up over 2 million views and reignite the previous hate the YouTube community had for Brent, with comments reading, "This video just proves that not all people are nice behind the camera. Brent should be ashamed." The fact that Brent had to get law enforcement involved over Tyler walking to his room and turning around seeing them recording him is so sad. Brent is so two-faced, as well as love how Brent is really confident because his subscriber count. But the moment that dude gets in a fight with anyone, it's pretty much over. The drama would escalate so far that some of the largest commentary channels on the platform were taking turns at roasting him for his childish antics. By the 11th of February 2024, Charlie would catch wind of the controversy and mercilessly break down Brent's appalling behavior.
So to break down the situation briefly, 2 YouTubers were staying at the same haunted hotel that they were using for content, but then it leads to a bit of confrontation and then eventually just a truly sour relationship between them. And there's a lot of big YouTubers involved here, and it all leads to this giant fucking black hole of main character syndrome. So they all get aggressive and they all start filming each other, so they're saying all their aggressive shit towards their camera about one another. It's a big mess. It's very goofy.
Charlie would then go on to dismantle Brent's facade of authentic content by pointing out that even the children who watch his content know it's fake, a fact that he would never admit.
This isn't important by any means, but it's always so weird to me why someone like Brent will claim they don't fake their videos. Like, even children don't care, man. You can just be honest. You don't have to lie. Like, he hired these two women to pretend to be like the little girls from The Shining, and he tries to play it off as like legitimate, I guess, for some reason, which makes no fucking sense at all. This is just a nitpick. It doesn't compute with me. Like, why even bother lying about that? No one's being fooled, not even like an actual glue-eating 4-year-old. Like, there's no shot. You can just be honest.
Brent's tendency to put down others when he feels threatened was something Charlie would pick up and rightfully call him out on.
But the way Brent handles it is atrocious. He starts like shaming him for using an iPhone, shaming their equipment. At one point, someone on his team belittles his subscriber number. Like, he couldn't have looked worse in this situation.
Charlie also noted how desperate Brent was to show off his wealth.
I don't know how people haven't realized that insulting someone's subscriber number, financial well-being, and all of that is just an instant L. Like, somehow, people will still say some shit like that guy who said, have fun with your 100 subscribers, bud, with their whole chest. Like, they'll just let that shit rip, not knowing or being completely oblivious to how awful that makes you look. You lose the second you go there. You look like an insufferable douchebag asshole, like just a fucking pure colonostomy bag of a person. Like, it's outrageous that people still do it. Like, shaming him for using an iPhone, insulting his mics, which they also bring up, is everything. Is so weird.
Charlie's coverage of Brent's idiotic behavior would garner over 4 million views and have a knock-on effect as more viewers and creators became aware of just how desperate he was to protect his fragile ego. Brent and his crew insults the iPhone, insults the amount of followers, insults the setup, also Brent and his crew. Let's not be disrespectful, as well as, I think the worst part is that Brent and his henchmen didn't even spend the night. They left shortly after. They just had to make sure Tyler couldn't stay before they left. The ever-growing hate for Brent would manifest in his video titled Overnight in the World's Weirdest Hotels, which got an eye-watering 1.2 million dislikes and an equally hostile comment section, reading, a YouTuber that actually makes real content versus a YouTuber that gets angry so easily because they got told the truth of what they make in the platform. Imagine getting caught in 4K by an iPhone. As well as, I looked this up just to see if the fight was in it, and I generally have second-hand embarrassment for the people that actually watch this stuff. Unable to ignore the backlash, Brent published a response that he hoped would turn the public opinion in his favor. Unfortunately, it did the opposite.
If you recently saw a viral video of two YouTubers arguing in a hotel hallway, well, one of those YouTubers was me. Things quickly get taken out of context, so here's the full picture. Also, this isn't me defending the things that I said, but more so giving you guys my perspective of what happened that night. So right when I was about to pull a prank on my friends in a hotel, this guy came up to me yelling and accused me of faking the prank. And I'm not saying all my pranks are real, but this one was. We were just minding our own business and filming a video, so this was really frustrating given the amount of time, energy, and money we put into these videos to make great content for you guys. And as the night went on, he continued to approach us with his camera, saying awful things about me, my friends, and my sister to try and get a rise out of me for his video. At a certain point, it bubbled up so much that I did what he wanted. I stooped down to his level, and I said something that I should not have said. Don't have up your 100 subscribers.
Brent went on to claim that Tyler was the aggressor and stated he had no involvement in summoning security.
Later on, he came up and started filming again, this time while we were on a tour. His actions toward us and other guests on the tour caused the hotel staff, not me, to call security. He was warned several times by the hotel staff to not only leave us, but other guests and hotel staff alone. And after several warnings, the hotel chose to call the police to get him escorted from the hotel. Anyways, I am not proud of the way that I reacted at all, nor am I perfect. All I can do is be real with you guys and admit that I could have handled it by not saying anything and just walking away.
Given the fact that Brent had left out key details and was clearly lying about what happened, it was only a matter of time before Tyler made his response to the situation.
Brent, you're a liar. Here are the receipts. Also, I'm on the toilet, so I'll be quick. Lie number one.
Right when I was about to pull a prank on my friends in a hotel, this guy came up to me yelling and accused me of faking the prank.
No, we were half asleep in our hotel rooms. My cameraman gets up, goes into the hallway, only to see these two ghost girls right outside our rooms. Keep in mind, Brent places these girls on the opposite side of the hotel room floor we apparently share. We easily could have avoided each other if you did not place your prank right outside our two hotel rooms on the opposite side of the hotel floor we both were staying on.
Tyler continues by debunking Brent's misleading claims about being accused of making fake videos.
2.
This guy came up to me yelling and accused me of faking the prank. And
No one yelled at you or accused you of anything. I simply walked up to you, asked you if you knew the 2 girls who were at the end of the hallway. You denied knowing them completely. I walked up to them, asked them if they knew you. They were like, maybe. Okay, anyways, so I walked up to you, and then you said, do you fake your videos?
No. Do you fake your videos?
No.
He also touched on how Brent tried to gain sympathy from viewers by reminding them of the time and money he puts into making content.
5.
It's really frustrating given the amount of time, energy, and money we put into these videos to make great content.
We lost about $4,000 in flights, hotel rooms, and car rentals after you got us kicked out. So, and you're Forbes 30 under 30, so this hurts me a lot more than it should hurt you, I imagine.
At the end of the video, Tyler recounts the events that led him to getting kicked out of the hotel.
Us and other guests on the tour caused the hotel staff, not me, to call security.
You literally called security on us nonstop, and in this clip, you say,
You're gonna get us kicked out? You're that powerful?
Did you guys finish your video?
No.
Oh, we're not gonna be able to finish it then.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, they're gonna come and get you guys. They're gonna kick you out.
Without you calling security, we would not have gotten kicked out. If there were 12 of us like your crew, maybe that wouldn't have been the case. They chose the easier option of kicking us out versus you and your 10-man crew.
Belittling another creator and getting them kicked out of a hotel they paid for was one thing, but trying to twist the story to make yourself look like the victim was a whole different ballgame. Brent didn't have the best reputation on YouTube to begin with, and now that viewers had the chance to see how pompous and dishonest he was, it seemed his reputation had truly hit rock bottom. But sadly, this was only the beginning of Brent's sins against the YouTube community. As Brent was trying to mitigate the controversy that he was already in, he was already creating another, as he began copyright striking other smaller YouTubers who criticized him. The first was a creator by the name of Rith.
Brent Rivera, what the fuck are you doing? Now you're sending me copyright strikes? Why are you 10 mil plus TikTokers such fucking pussies? I don't know if you sent the strike directly or your management did, but my videos are fair use. I didn't steal your content, I directly talked over it, thus making it my video. Brent, remove the fucking strike. You don't want to be breaking the law now, do you? Or does your hurt little fucking feelings feel bad? Fucking loser.
Unfortunately, this wouldn't be the last time Brent falsely struck a fellow creator. On the 20th of February 2023, a YouTuber by the name of Dumpy uploaded a video titled "Brent Rivera Wants to Delete My Channel," in which he detailed an ongoing copyright situation involving Brent.
I really hope the situation does not progress. If it does, I will be making an update video letting you guys know what's going on. That was me about 3 hours ago in a frenzy because I had a community guidelines warning, my very first offense, because of content made on Brent Rivera. As I was editing the video, I was frantically checking my email, waiting to see a response from my appeal to the community guidelines violation. When all of a sudden, around 4 a.m., I received this email. Copyright takedown request received for your YouTube video. I said, whoa, what is going on? I sent some screenshots out and I basically just stated, yo, this guy's abusing the copyright system because my videos fall under fair use.
Dumpy then went on to share screenshots of Brent's shady attempt to take down videos that were critical of him.
My YouTube video was re-uploaded by another user. No, it wasn't. My video was transformative. I made a whole video of my own work out of your content, reacting to it, picking it apart. And you said, where does the content appear? The entire video. He went after not one, but 2 of my YouTube videos. And then there's all this mumbo jumbo. I'm gonna censor this even though I feel like I don't even have to, but basically it just says if you lie and you misrepresent what actually happened, you can result in the termination of his YouTube channel. He literally signed that and did it anyways and blatantly lied, and I guarantee you there will be no repercussions for his actions.
For all the underhanded things Brent has done, abusing the copyright system was one of the most cruel. Brent wanted to end the career of a fellow creator for no other reason than he felt his ego was bruised, and the way he went about it was equally as horrible. Brent stated the following in his copyright claim: "How much of your copyrighted work is used? Most of the video were my original video from my YouTube channel. No other original content from the creator was shown. How is the market for your original work affected by this use? It affects it negatively." Fortunately for Dumpy, YouTube decided not to go through with Brent's claims. However, Dumpy wasn't out of the woods yet, as he later received a community guidelines violation for a stream in which he reacted to Brent's content. While Dumpy wasn't directly accusing Brent of reporting his channel, channel, he did ask Brent to respond by posting his report history.
And I don't just want to blindly come on here and accuse you, Brent, of reporting my videos because that's kind of insane. But based on how you've acted in the past, I would not put it past you. And if you are doing this, you gotta chill out, bro. Like, you're playing with people's livelihood, you're breaking the law by abusing copyright and trying to take down Tyler Oliveira's video he made on you. Like, it's just, come on, bro. You cannot do that.
Once again, Brent had unknowingly put himself in yet another controversy, but this time it wasn't about getting someone kicked out of a hotel. It was trying to get a smaller creator kicked off the platform by abusing the copyright system, and everyone on YouTube was calling him out for it. In less than 2 weeks, Brent had turned the entire platform against him twice, and similar to the first time, he only responded once he had sufficient backlash, and that was in ample supply. The following day, Charlie would once again give his opinion on Brent's bad behavior by educating him on just how damaging misusing the copyright system truly is.
On YouTube, there's an unwritten rule that when violated, it ruins your image forever. It causes irreparable damage to your reputation, and there's really not much you can ever do to get back in the good graces of the platform. That is abusing the copyright takedown system. And unfortunately, a massive YouTuber today took a bite out of that forbidden fruit. His name is Brent Rivera.
Censoring other creators because they were critical of you only worsens the problem, and it was obvious that Brent didn't understand. Thankfully, Charlie was there to enlighten him.
So, let me walk you through how this thing usually goes. When a YouTuber makes the decision to go nuclear and start filing these kind of takedown requests, the whole community turns against them. People fucking hate that for good reason. That's the lowest shit you could sink to. Just stop being a little bitch and accept that not everyone's going to like you. And when you do some dumb, embarrassing shit because your ego bubbles over and you embarrass yourself, people are gonna make fun of you for it. That's the circle of life, baby. That's nature. That's the way God made this world, and yeah, in the cyberspace as well. You know, I bet even, you know, the Lord was on an alt account kind of laughing about what you did here because you looked real stupid during it. The point I'm making is you just move on from it. You don't do this. When you do copyright abuse shenanigans, it is always like sticking your head into a beehive. You are the only one who gets hurt, but you are just too focused on the potential sweetness in that hive.
Delving deeper, Charlie highlighted how poorly Brentley filled out the takedown request and remarked on how bare bones the context was that he provided.
And how is the market for your original work affected by this use? It affects it negatively. That right there is the biggest tip-off for me that flips on the light bulb in my head that tells me Brent Rivera likely filed this, because no self-respecting third-party company that does this professionally on behalf of creators would ever answer that question like that. It's a very concise answer, but it also doesn't even answer the question. The question is, how is the market for your original work affected? And his response was, it affects it negatively. That's like how a child would answer it. I know Brent Rivera makes videos for children, but it seems like he also has the brain of one too. He's stuck in like 3rd grade. You're supposed to explain your reasoning, so it affects it negatively, but how? Why? Like, what exactly is this doing to encroach on you and your original content? How is it stealing from you or ruining your content? And he just gives like fucking 5 words here.
Continuing down that route wasn't doing Brent any favors. If he hoped for any chance of redemption, his best bet would be to stop his course of action altogether.
Somehow your audience of children are actually being aware of this now, which is the last thing I imagine you wanted to happen with the drama. You're just doing all of the wrong things here. You fucked up. You should have just moved on from it, apologized for it, and been done with it. You made a terrible response to this whole thing, trying to give context to it, where even in that you make yourself look stupid. Like, you played this terribly. You played yourself and you look dumb. Luckily, Dumpy's channel I don't think is going to get deleted or get in any hot water from this situation, so that's good, but it is really frustrating to see yet another big creator like Brent Rivera try and bully people around by abusing the copyright systems on the platform that have been broken for a long time. That's always going to be a big fuck you from me.
By the 22nd of February 2023, Dumpy released a video titled "He Messaged Me," which served as both an update on the situation and as a call out for Brent for his lies in the DMs.
He sent me the same exact message on Twitter and Instagram, but let me show you the Twitter version of it. Hey man, I saw your video and I let my YouTube rep know to retract all the copyright requests. I also let my team know not to copyright your vids moving forward. As of today, as of February 21st, I still have the copyright claim on my video. Basically what all this means is that Brent doesn't get the money, I don't get the money even though I made a fair use video. Brent falsely claimed the video. This is also the same video that he tried to get taken down, but YouTube saved me.
Despite how positive and friendly he sounded, Brent had done nothing to retract his copyright claims or harassment reports he made on YouTube. To make matters worse, Brent would try to manipulate the narrative again by leaving a super thanks in the comments that read, $400. In the meantime, while the copyright request is being retracted, here's something to help. Again, sorry about that, bro. Twitch Dumpy replied with, I don't accept your apology. These takedowns were given to me 48 hours ago, and you've done this to 2 other creators that I know of. I hope you understand the severity of what you've done and how you've willingly lied to YouTube for whatever reason to attempt having my livelihood taken away from me. On the 23rd of February 2023, Charlie would upload a video titled, This Drama Had a Happy Ending, where during the video, Charlie pointed out Brent's blatant dishonesty when addressing the situation and made it clear that no one bought into his shallow attempts at reconciliation.
But I do want to mention that second paragraph where he talks about like Dumpy's grind and how he's like proud of it, happy to see it, and you know, wishing him nothing but the best in it. To me, that just reads very insincere and phony. That seems like very corporate PR speak, because his whole grind and everything you had a huge issue with because it was at your expense. So why are you going to pretend like you actually really appreciate it and admire it? Like, just be honest. Like, it just doesn't seem honest at all. There's no reason to put up a facade. You can just be like, bro, your videos fucking hurt my feelings. I overreacted. Yeah, is what it is. I'm releasing it now. I see this as a big fuck up, a big blunder. And that'd be a lot more respectable than trying to put on this like, bro, you're a fucking grinder. You're out there nuts to butts and you're doing it big. That shit is so fucking lit. And I know you're going to keep doing big things. I'm so proud of you, actually. I'm so fucking proud of you. Patting him on the ass. Like, that's just, it's not genuine.
Whether Brent realizes it or not, his scummy censorship tactics were truly what caused the massive wave of backlash against him, and will forever leave a stain on what was left of his reputation.
There's not really a whole lot you can do to make Dumpy like you or just like forgive that. It's just a matter of moving on from it. You are doing the right thing, which everyone will appreciate. You are walking back on this bullshit here with these takedown requests. That is good, but I just don't think there's a whole lot you can do to earn anyone's trust back or view you positively. It's something that you'll have to prove over a long period of time if you actually learned anything from this whole situation. He says that him and his team responded too emotionally to it, which he's absolutely right on, but this is an option that should have never been considered in the first place, obviously.
In addition to his misuse of the copyright system, Brent was determined to cover his tracks by blatantly lying to not just his viewers and other creators, but YouTube as well. Brent did all this under the guise of preventing others from infringing on his copyrighted material. However, ironically, Brent has and continues to shamelessly steal content from other creators. Despite being outed for plagiarism in the past, Brent hasn't changed his ways in the slightest, and arguably has gotten worse. For example, Brent's video titled The World's Shortest Woman vs. Tallest Man was a direct replica of a video from YouTuber Kelly Wakasa. The first thing you'll notice about Brent's version is the fact that the thumbnail is eerily similar to Kelly's. However, the similarities don't stop there, as Brent liberally borrows Kelly's entire script. You see, the order of events in Kelly's video goes from meeting Jodie and giving her some oversized merch.
Oh, maybe it's too big. Uh-oh. Too big. That's funny. Or the hoodie, too.
Thank you.
And asking her some spicy questions.
Who is your celebrity crush?
To taking her shopping.
Find a nice outfit.
And finally, going to an amusement park together.
Constructing the amusement park as we come in. This is sick and really sketch.
The timeline in Brent's version is exactly the same, beat for beat. Giving her merch.
Okay, so we actually have a gift for you.
So this is relatable merch.
That might be too big. You think it'll fit?
Good thing we got a smaller size.
And asking her some spicy questions.
Who's your celebrity crush? No, me?
Shopping.
That's pretty big.
Oh my God.
Anything you want, it's on Brent's credit card.
The cheese puffs? Yeah.
And finally, amusement park.
Are you gonna float away?
Brent's tendency to steal ideas isn't limited to his long-form content, as his short-form content is ripped straight from smaller creators.
I've got a notebook and I'm gonna go to a fancy restaurant and act like a food critic.
Let's see if they treat me any differently. After getting seated, I quickly whipped out the notebook for the waiter to see. Right away, I was receiving looks left and right.
It was the first few items. And after taking some pictures and giving it a few minutes, I whipped out the notebook.
They started to bring me out my first few courses, and let me tell you, it was so delicious that I had to take note.
Back and forth, and I start to notice a big shift. The manager comes up to my table, gives me his card with his personal cell phone number, and tells me to give him a call whenever I need a reservation.
And then they gave me complimentary champagne, and to top it all off, they comped the entire meal. And the manager let me know to come back anytime.
Even his latest video titled, "I Built a Secret Starbucks, You'd Never Find This," is a shameless copy of an upload from the Stokes twins. Once viewers caught on to this, they made sure to show their disapproval with over 80,000 dislikes. Brent has since changed the video's thumbnail to cover up his mistake, but once again, this was only due to the massive backlash he received. Notice the pattern here? Brent started his career on YouTube by stealing from other creators, and when that wasn't enough, he turned to sexualizing his own sister for easy views. The platform and following he has today wasn't built on his own skill or creativity, but rather on the backs of the countless creators he has plagiarized. Despite all of this, Brent still tries to present himself as an authentic and original creator. Whenever Brent is confronted with the truth behind his career, he defaults to either belittling or censoring them, as seen with his interaction with Tyler and Dumpy. Once that failed, he resorted to making bold-faced lies that the community easily saw through. Disrespecting and disregarding the community that gave you a career you currently enjoy is never a good idea, and Brent has learned this lesson the hard way. But despite that, his channel seems to be doing completely fine, most likely due to the dozens of children that still watch him. An example of a YouTuber who had his career completely destroyed, however, is Will Basut. Click the video on.
Capture zone contested.
Target activating Aegis.
Zone relocated.
Jinxie's journey on Twitch has been nothing short of unreal, from spending years only streaming to 5 viewers, to becoming the #1 streamer on Twitch seemingly out of nowhere. Jinxie's antics on camera have earned him praise, infamy, and everything in between.
This is my world and you're just...
However, Jinxie's rapid rise to the top hasn't come without its fair share of controversy.
I'm getting called a view botter. Stick around, I'll get into that, you fucking idiot! 15K bots. Chat, yes bro, I'm literally getting called a view botter, dude. I'm not even...
Accusations of viewbotting, stimulant use on stream, and being an iShow Speed clone have all been leveled against Jinxie, but are these claims valid? And if not, how on earth did he manage to dominate the streaming world so quickly? Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be uncovering the controversial rise of a modern streaming legend, Jinxie, a streamer that seemingly defied all logic to climb the ranks on Twitch, even while playing a quote dead game. Jinxie, real name Nicholas Stewart, began his Twitch journey around January 2019 under the username iSweatGames, where he would play his favorite video game, Rainbow Six Siege. Throughout his first 6 months on Twitch, Jinxie barely received 13 viewers even on his most popular streams, only averaging less than 5 viewers on a regular day. He even tried streaming other more popular games like Fortnite and Apex Legends with the hopes of boosting his numbers. But sadly, it didn't pan out well, as he'd only gained 1 or 2 followers at the time. Receiving poor engagement like that for several months would discourage anyone from further pursuing streaming, and even stop most from streaming entirely. However, that wasn't enough to stop 18-year-old Jinxie from bringing his absolute best to every stream.
To your right. You're fucking ass.
You've been eliminated.
Big deer egg.
I love you, Rainbow!
face.
Unfortunately, being undiscovered in the streaming world wasn't Jinxie's only disadvantage. Not only was his game of choice not a mainstream title, but Siege also faced several major issues, such as the developers lowering the skill gap, server-side bugs, and rampant cheating with aimbots. These problems led to a sharp decline in both Twitch viewership and player count for Siege, which resulted in a smaller pool of potential viewers for Jinxie, with some players even speculating that the game was already dead. It only made sense for streamers that wanted to grow to jump ship to another game. Despite this, Jinxie continued to play Siege religiously for the rest of 2019 and focused on being more of an entertaining personality instead of relying on a popular title.
What? He's using wall hacks on console!
Jinxie's tendency to burst into incoherent rage on stream gradually became a core component of his online persona. However, he didn't do this randomly for shock value. At its core, Siege is a tense tactical shooter game that requires a high degree of concentration, which generally would mean the average streamer isn't going to be as high energy during a stressful situation. However, this doesn't apply to Jinxie, as he consistently lets his emotions run wild whenever he gets a kill or gets killed.
Please.
Couple this with the fact that Jinxie had been playing the game for over 2 years before joining Twitch, meant that viewers would be entertained regardless of how a round ended.
Last operators.
Literally bodied. Oh my goodness. Where are you going?
Something clicked in my brain recently. Maybe it was during a bout of mania. Maybe it was the end of a relationship. Maybe it was changing life circumstances. But right now, the only thing I want to do, aside from, I guess, the other shit I need to be doing, the main thing I want to do is to just turn myself into, just go completely ape shit in the gym and doing physical activity until I am like shredded or just like super in shape. You know, for aesthetics maybe, but mainly just to like, I don't know, just to like go, just to fucking go, which feels interesting because I haven't felt that in a long time. I grew up playing sports. In sports, you kind of just have to have a mandatory feeling of competition. You're trying to win. You're trying to run the fastest, lift the most weight, jump the furthest, catch the most passes, whatever. And there's a simplicity to that, and there's like a beauty to that simplicity of like, okay, you're lifting weights, you have to move this weight off the ground or else you fail. You failed. You didn't make it. So lower the weight a little bit and train harder, and then you can get it, and then you'll have succeeded. The simplicity of that, like for me, I think for many people, I dare say a lot of young men specifically, this kind of like achievement-oriented mindset, it clicks really well. And I think, you know, I played football in middle school and high school. I played lacrosse in middle school and high school. I played football in college for a year. I redshirted and then I quit. But it was a Division II school, Simon Fraser University, the worst NCAA university in the NCAA, and also the only one in Canada. So shout out Simon Fraser University. But just the pure competitive elements of that, I think after I was done, I kind of turned away from all things sport and wanted to focus on art and things like that. And right now, having done that for, I guess it's like, it'd be like 6 or 7 years now. I've just recently clicked back into like, okay, let's just, I hate to use the phrase because it's a bit overused, but lock the fuck in and just go to the gym, move some weight around, get back familiar with, watch my Jeff Nippard, watch my Sam Sulek for different perspectives on the world of weightlifting. But then also, I think there's a lot of other reasons to it aside from just wanting to go crazy. I think the baseline health reasons are, you know, I like in the thumbnail it'll probably be 2 photos of me, one when I was, you know, younger and in really good shape, and one when I gained a lot of weight. The feeling of like, you don't really know what that feels like until you've been on the other side of like walking up a set of stairs like whoops your ass, versus I've never had good cardio health, and so that's like, even in high school I was a sprinter. So when I did track I was a sprinter, and when I did football I was a slot receiver, so I was sprinting all the time. But I kind of notoriously, or for myself, had bad cardio to the point where I'd be like kind of, what is it, gassed? Yeah, it's been so fucking long since I've thought about sports. Gassed in like training and mainly in games was the big problem, because if you have like a big game, you can't late in the fourth quarter be like slowing down because you're tired. You have to be going all out the whole time, and I just never trained my cardio well enough to where I would feel comfortable. And so that's kind of like a little personal hurdle I want to overcome. The last few nights I've been doing these cardio streams, which have been cool. The goal is to just keep doing them, because may as well, if I'm gonna be doing the cardio at the same time, may as well make content off of it. But also it's fun. I've always been so bad at it because it's such an unsexy experience. Getting on a fucking treadmill or going on a walk and stuff is great, but like it's unsexy when you're in bed and comfortable to get up and do that. And I don't know, I don't want to be professing a self-help message, but it's like, if you can just click it in your brain to somehow do that, and if I can just every time I do it talk about it on here, and if that can offer 1% of a shred of an example of something to do for you that will help improve your health, then that's kind of like the direction I want to go with these types of videos, at least. And this is the first in, you know, a series of podcasts. I might do guests and things like that, but I'm 26 and I feel old. I know for older people watching, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? For younger people watching, they're like, yeah, I mean, you got a point. That's just how time is, I guess. But it's this window of time, like, I don't know, I probably right around 30 want to start thinking about potentially like pursuing a serious relationship to have kids, maybe before. But being a dad and spending, like, making sure I have time to prioritize family and at the same time prioritize like the things I want to achieve in life, which right now I'm not really sure what, like, for the foreseeable future. I just want to get back in touch with the artistic element of video work and really enjoy it more. And then, you know, financial stability is also a big part of that. But like juggling those things and also trying to stay in shape and healthy, I think starting out that process then is a lot harder than doing it like right now. I'm just kind of fucking around a bunch. And admittedly, I have a lot more free time than most people because I just do this bullshit. And like today, or I guess yesterday, was one of the days where I had stuff I wanted to do with work, and then instead I just went to the gym and then kind of laid down after that, went and did cardio, and then didn't really do anything during the day. Just days like those, I'm gonna try and like cut out and rework. And because I understand that that's not like a normal thing to be able to do in terms of normal productivity. And when I say normal, I just mean what most people experience, like work-wise. That's like it's probably more efficient to model my day closer to that, even if I don't want to. Just that lack of structure is really harmful for me, personally speaking. But yeah, lifting and cardio, those are the two things. Leading into, I guess, the cardio leading into hiking and things. Outdoor activities. I went on a hike 2 days ago. Yesterday, I mean. It was fucking beautiful. It was so nice. So good. Went for like 7 miles. Took about 3 hours. This is the first hike I went on. It's the first time I've been on one in a while, but the first one I've went on where I wasn't, you know, for a good amount of the time wanting to be done. Like looking just like, oh, I can't wait to be at the end, get in the car and go home. And I felt that, strangely enough, I've never even really noticed that until this hike, that something about it is I think when you lack the context of knowing what it is to be enjoying the outdoors, like I grew up doing that shit, and I think taking a lot of time to not be engaged with that between the periods of when you're doing it as you're younger and you're taking it for granted to now, some combination of that, as well as I learned, this feels so stupid to even say, but I learned while I was on this hike that you don't have to look at the ground the whole time. Like I'm always looking at the ground because I don't want to trip. So I look at the dirt and I'm like, oh, there's a rock there. Oh, there's whatever. And then usually it's when I stop, when I look around and check out the trees and shit, it's beautiful. Smell the air. The whole time you get to smell the air. But in terms of actually looking at it and experiencing it, I've never done that until this hike, which sounds fucking insane because the whole point to going out is to experience it, the nature, the trees, the brushes, the animals. Saw a squirrel, saw a snail, saw all sorts of birds. But that was only because I was looking up, like looking at a destination point and walking. And there's this weird experience where it looks like everything's bouncing, which is the normal thing you have when you're looking at something and walking towards it. But I guess I must have tripped one time while hiking, and ever since then, just looked at the ground. And so this, like, I have to be the only person on the planet that it has hiked that way. Surely, unless some of you have. Please let me know. Please, I hope I'm not alone, but I think I am. And actually looking at the nature made it a lot more enjoyable. It made it a lot more tolerable than, you know, hiking for a long ass time, stopping and then looking at the nature. Because that shit's great when you stop and look. But then you gotta hike again. And then you're looking at the roots and the rocks and stuff. Admittedly, some hikes are more difficult than others to where you need to be looking at the ground. But still, this was not Everest. This was the Green River. We were chilling. And so that's something that kind of goes along with the overall health and fitness, is just like constantly be doing something. Because when I got done with that, like I was tired as fuck. I got in the car, had a little PB&J, just breathed and was like, fuck, that was like awesome. And for the whole time, I was like, this is, I don't know, you just don't, you're touching grass, man. There's nothing like it. For people, I'm such a fucking internet person. I think that's like in future relationships, something that I am going to need to like really pay attention to and watch and lock into, is my tendency to like hermit crab and be online and just fuck off from the world. I think it's unhealthy. Surprise, surprise. The thing that I've known the whole time was unhealthy, like an unhealthy amount of exposure to just the internet and the ways of communication the way we gather information on like Twitter. You retweet someone saying some funny shit, or someone saying some wild shit, or someone saying some deeply personal, empathetic, or just powerful political shit. And that's, you know, it's good, but it's also very bad because it's not like you're talking to people. Same thing with YouTube. Watching YouTube videos is not like talking to a person. You don't get feedback. You don't get to understand the nuances of a social situation. And that should be obvious. But for people that are just, you know, since COVID or since whenever on the internet 24/7, it's not. I'm one of those people. So, Mom, I just want to get shit tightened down in my life. And there's a certain anxiety that comes with a lack of control over your time, over the physical realm of like being able to pick shit up, throw shit around, wrestle a bear. That man versus bear, Bear Grylls shit, and then the man versus the bear in the woods. Who'd you rather encounter? If I'm the one being asked, I'll take the bear, or I'll take a man that's built like a bear, and then we'll wrestle. Not right now because I'm out of shape, but when I'm like back in tip-top shape, that's the goal. They say not to share your goals with people as you're doing them. Like today's day 4 of going to the gym for me. I fully understand why that is the case, but right now I'm just like, fuck it. Like I do videos. Let's just talk about it as it happens. There's no point in like holding it accountable. It's more so like, all right, this is, well, I guess it could be, it's like an accountability thing because I'm just doing some shit every day. Then if I let y'all know it's been a week since I've done shit, you can be like, hey, this was your goal. Go freak mode physically. In terms of that grit my teeth and just do the bullshit type of energy, I'm noticing it mostly when I'm doing like cardio. I'll be just at a really difficult point where I know I want to slow down, but then it's just like a wire, like a misfiring neuron in my brain that's like, just fucking keep going. You're being a little baby right now. You want to stop and you're tired. You don't need to stop. Your body isn't telling you like red button, emergency, stop. It's just telling you, well, it'd be nice if you just slowed down a little bit. You don't need to have a mental coach, verbally abusive mental coach in your mind to get in shape. I don't actually recommend it. But I think that's probably just a product of like sports brain and training brain, and like being put in situations where you're kind of getting yelled. Like it's not verbal abuse, a coach yelling at you to go harder. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying when you're doing it to yourself, it's like, it's a weird feeling, but it works. And like that voice has been speaking to me through my subconscious, some like amalgamation of all my old coaches and people that were pushing me and like teammates and things. And it's kind of cool, but it's also, no, it's cool. It's just cool. Like I love it right now. Another weird thing that popped into my mind. This is another thing that's kind of embarrassing, but I was hiking and I was checking my heart rate. It was like pretty high. We're going up a hill. And I started getting these visions that I used to have as a young kid of like when I was doing something physically strenuous, where I needed to like really push through it and just kind of like activate lizard brain and like sprint or like lift or just like go, 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 go. I would picture myself getting the Iron Man hands with like blasters on them, like metal. Oh no, it was Metroid. That was one of them. Metroid arms, like Samus arms, where I'm like going beast mode to the point where my arms are like lighting up and shooting lasers out of them, and that's helping me like move forward. Or Halo energy sword in the hands, like I'm like sprinting and like I'm picturing like young kid shit. Never felt this after probably age 15 maybe. I think, I don't know for what reason it stopped, but like the first time I've felt that since then, like this, like I'm going so hard that I'm literally picturing Halo weapons in my hands that are like bursting with energy and like wanting to slice through whatever's in front of me and like make it explode. That happened to me while I was on this hike. Don't even know how to describe it. That's one of the things that made me want to be like, I need to just fucking yap about this physical activity shit, because it feels metaphysical. Like it feels like we're going to a different realm, because it was a flashback to, you know, old memories of like bizarre endorphin situation. Like if you maybe you have some shit like that where like if you're trying to get something done, you have to like pull in the imaginary world, get freaky with your sort of thoughts and visualizations of reality in order to make it through. There's got to be some, I mean, part of that's like some BPD shit as I understand it on the receiving end of the experience. Feels good though, every night, getting in bed with my ass whooped. Like right now, what time is it? It's 11:51 p.m. And I've been going to bed late, so that to me isn't a crazy number. I'm gonna quit recording this, chop it up, upload it, schedule it, and then I'm gonna go do the cardio thing. And I'm excited to do that. And that's a very unique thing. If that is happening, that is an extremely good sign. That is potentially extremely fleeting. Like I have to take advantage of that, and I have to keep it going as much as I can, because I know how hard it is to do that. And the biggest thing to start out with that, I think, was just setting up the circumstances, like making it so that
Ready to invade my name. Back in 2016, when I actually used to leave the house, I noticed someone had been paying probably tens of thousands of pounds to display extremely vague and essentially meaningless billboards around the UK.
Legal name fraud. It's illegal to use a legal name. I'm very confuzzled. If it was fraud, then I would know it was fraud, then a billboard wasn't. Meh. Google it later. That's what I'll do. I'll Google it.
I thought it was going to actually explain it. 5 minutes of my life
Don't
wasted.
even Google legal name fraud. I found their website and I was even more confused than you.
Explained nothing about the so-called legal name fraud, but it did clearly show that this is a piss-poor, dangerous rider. No, it isn't. Total cross-eyed badger spit.
Break it down. It is illegal, prohibited by the righteous creator.
on the nice road in Mount
2, in the direction of, for the purpose of.
It's all clear to me now just what those billboards are about. I think the government is using the names of people as collateral.
Used to practice to take
The
advantage
government
of
is a creation of man, and the creation of man can never be above man. They
Legal.
always need your
Pretending the law created
consent.
by man, a
Everyone baffled about this. Take a little bit of time out of your day and do some research into it. In the time that it takes to watch EastEnders, you could understand a lot. Docile.
All right, Steve. I will. Fuck you, Steve. That took way longer than an episode of EastEnders. Way longer. All right. Let's do this.
You guys are tyrannical bullies. You're trying to extort money from me. Don't give up.
citizens. They're like libertarians playing an ARG. They drive around like they've got the rainbow star in Mario Kart, but when they get stopped by police, they think they're playing GTA 5 and can turn the lower wanted level cheat on by repeating, "I do not consent" 20 times to law enforcement.
A free inhabitant they are allowed to, they're free people. They have all of the rights of a U.S. citizen without following any of their laws.
Well, that would just be pure anarchy if that were the case.
But then they get their driver's side windows smashed in. In other words, probably the only group of people who could ever possibly make you feel sorry for cops.
Is a parent, and don't touch my vehicle. Don't touch my vehicle. Don't touch my vehicle and don't touch my person, sir. Sir, don't touch my person. Great, don't touch my person. I want to talk to you.
Other than confusing people a little bit, the billboards never really created much of a splash in Britain. There were hundreds of them, but the Advertising Standards Authority reported that it had received a total of 7 complaints and admitted that they were confusing, but it wasn't a tip on how to get 3 free pints and Wetherspoons, so no one in Britain was going to find out what they meant. Apart from me! The woman behind those billboards is called Kate of Gaia, a guru of the UK arm of the Sovereign Citizen movement, who go by Freemen on the Land. She has plenty of material online for you to rifle through if you'd like to educate yourself, but unfortunately you have to really take some time just violently bashing your head in with a cast iron pan to even start to understand what the hell she's talking about.
Yes. This is the first one I've seen here. And as you can see, this is in America. Thousands and thousands of people are going to see this.
And there you go, and there's truth kicking you in the face. In your face, legal name fraud.
But looking at the sovereign citizen movement overall, there's a sort of pan-smashing method to the madness. It's a conspiracy theory, but like all conspiracy theories, it's got a coherent narrative, an explanation that simplifies the complex and frustrating nature of the real world and gives it a clear, comforting, shared satanic devil-worshipping cabal for you to all passionately hate together as a community. And much like every conspiracy theory I've ever investigated, my personal conversation with these people in my head goes a little bit like this. There's something frustratingly wrong with the world. I'm being told that if I work hard, I'll get rich, but the harder I work, the more I seem to be slipping into debt. I feel like my labor value is worth more than the amount that I get paid for it. I have a growing distrust in the media because social media content conflicts with mainstream news, because profit-seeking platforms prioritize engagement over fact-checking, and I feel more and more disconnected from reality every day. And the problem is CAP, Jewish deep state elite pedo cabal that's intentionally lying to you via hidden amendments in the US Constitution and NASA images of the curvature of the Earth to cover up the fact that they're torturing children to extract adrenochrome from their blood and using farmed babies' foreskins to live forever while worshipping Satan. Shall we start with our friends in the good old US of A? Because that's where this all started. It's your fault. We're gonna need to take a deep breath. American sovereign citizens believe... Okay, let's stop there. No 2 sovereign citizens believe the same thing, and therefore no 2 journalists nor 2 academics who have written papers on the movement have given theses on the subject which have come to the same conclusion about their belief system, what they believe, why they believe it, or how they act on those beliefs. Which made this probably the most frustrating video I've ever had to research and pass into a script. But let's give this a go. Most of them believe the general theory that the United States of America went bankrupt and the federal US government has been a private corporation since sometime during the American Civil War, or 1871, or the 1933 Federal Reserve Act and the abolishment of the gold standard, or 1971 when Bretton Woods was abolished. One of those 4.
The United States declared bankruptcy on March 9th of 1933. At this point,
the U.S. began taking out loans from a private, non-government affiliated corporation called the Federal Reserve.
The private corporation of the US government was then covertly sold off to private foreign investors. And how do they intend on paying back these massive loans? Wonga.com? No, they think that the wording of certain amendments to the Constitution actually mean that every federal US citizen has a straw man, a corporate entity that has its own secret bank account that these foreign investors pay a large amount into when you're born. And the collateral for this loan is your labor. You have to pay back this loan with your income tax, fines, and fees. You consented to this contract when you signed your birth certificate. Well, you don't sign your own birth certificate as a 0-year-old. You consented to this contract when your parents, well, you didn't even consent to it, you were a baby. Your parents sold you off to these foreign investors when they signed your birth certificate, or if you're American, it's your social security number normally. That means you silly, squishy flesh and blood person with your smooth brain, have committed joinder, which means you entered a contract with your corporate entity strawman, whose name is your name, but in all caps, you see.
My name is spelled Asher Edwards, first capital, all lowercase. Edwards, first capital, all lowercase. And this is the birth name given to me by my parents.
But you've been tricked into signing this contract, which means you can revoke your consent. Then you don't have to abide by this Admiralty contract law anymore, only common law.
Maritime Admiralty law is what's known as the law of the water. It is superseded by civil law and only applies to those who willingly contract themselves into it. The definition of Admiralty law is a body of private international law governing the relationships between private entities which operate vessels on the oceans.
You'll get it by the end of the video. Trust me, you'll get it. Your silence renders you complicit in Admiralty law. You must make it known you opt out of the slavery. And the more annoying you are about it, the better.
Help! Help! I do not consent! I do not consent! Help! Help!
Due to the federal government being illegitimate, county sheriffs are the only true authority.
I'm Sheriff Kenny Boone. Please talk to your kids about drugs. Talk to your kids about drugs.
Good luck with that, guys. But you might be thinking, oops, I signed one of these trick contracts. I got my loyalty card stamped at the Freedom Ice Cream store, and it had my name on it in all caps. What can I do? Well, don't you worry. You can reclaim your sovereign status by paying for my course only $9.97. Like every other grift on the fucking goddamn planet, the product you're paying for is advice, which has extremely ambiguous value. So I'm going to massively oversell it and then exploit a loophole in which I can dispute how reasonably priced the service was to your credit card company when you attempt to charge back. It's only $9.97 right now, down from 50 trillion. So you're actually saving loads of ambiguous value if you give me your 16-digit credit card number right now and the expiration date and the CVV code on the back too. No, it doesn't matter for this bit that your name on the card is in all caps. No, that doesn't count. That's not joinder. Are we done? Okay, right. Thank you. Let's go. First of all, you're going to need to revoke that silly birth certificate or social security number contract by sending loads of incoherent documents to various government agencies, written in red or green ink and signed with a bloody thumbprint. Yep, you're going to want to make sure that government agency has both your DNA and fingerprints on file, because that's how you get privacy. Cut that social security card up, cut up that driver's license as well, and get rid of that license plate. That's joinder. Oh look, that's convenient. I have a drop shipping store on Amazon you can use for all your sovereign needs.
Hello. Hi, I'm Officer Wolf from Stone Police Department. The reason I stopped you is it appears you have a fictitious license plate on the back of your vehicle. This is a Supreme Court case law that says you're required to get out of that car if I ask you. If you do not, I'm going to force you to.
Oh no! You got pulled over because an officer spotted one of my very legal license plates. Okay, well, do not identify yourself to the officer or produce a valid license, because that's Joinder.
Are you refusing to identify?
No.
Okay, so what's your first name, sir?
Good citizen, how's that?
Nope, doesn't work.
Ensure to pull an Uno reverse card so that they commit joinder to their straw man instead. Silly cop.
Can I get your name and badge number for the record, please?
Can I get your badge number?
Here's a printable form you can print off and shove in the officer's face. What kind of officer doesn't love filling out 2 pages of paperwork at the side of the road?
What is what?
This.
Well, it's a lot of information here.
Okay.
I have the Nevada revised statutes.
Okay.
This is policies.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm not interested in anything you have to say about that.
Has he refused? Okay, well, you're going to want to go full Karen.
If you go get your superior, he'll clarify that he can be set free because he does not have to have a license.
It's not going to happen right now yet.
Don't touch me, dude. Don't touch me. Get your supervisor. You're not allowed to fucking touch me, dude.
Remember, you're a flesh and blood person, not a corporate entity doing 150 and a 55, zooted out of your mind on a rare strain of magic mushrooms. Despite the visions on the back of your own head being shaved by gremlins, you can still see the road, right? You're a human. You're allowed to do that because that means you're not driving. You're traveling.
Can you prove that I'm driving?
Sir, I need to see your license and proof of insurance.
Am I driving?
Yes, sir.
No, I'm not. I'm traveling.
State of Oregon, you're required
to have I have the right to travel. It's my 14th Amendment right.
That would be...
If you were a commercial video, you'd be contracted under state law. But because you're a flesh and blood person, there is no contract compelling you to abide by the officer's demands.
Who do you work for? I do not have... I do not have... Step out of the car. ...contract to do business with you.
If the silly officer still won't comply and tries cuffing you, then it's time to sound all of the alarm bells, baby!
Wrong, what's your RAS? Help! 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 Fucking help, dude! What?
Next, you're gonna want to threaten to sue the officer and the officer's straw man.
You're never getting sued! You don't even know what you're doing! I'm telling you, I'm gonna fucking sue you!
You think twice because I will sue you and your person.
Next, you're going to want to threaten to call the police on the police. It works, trust me. I once saw one of them arrest himself.
No, fuck, help! Call the cops, dude! Touch me, dude. I'm calling 911 on you right now.
Keep your hands where I can see
I'm calling 911 on you right now.
Help! 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 Call the police! Call them! We are the police! No!
Stop! What are you doing right now? Yo, can I talk to a sergeant? Can I talk to a sergeant?
You're trying to attack my nuts! That is not proper use of that device!
Now, some softsits like to sprinkle a little flavour over this baseline narrative. Little zest, a little newt, a little squeeze of lime. Some of them will throw in a bit of God, quoting Bible verses and saying the Lord granted them inalienable rights regardless of the Constitution or the laws or whatever.
Instead of owing the best part of their day to an employer, they could be living in freedom as they advance the kingdom of heaven. Some peacemakers have learned that the way to quit paying taxes to Caesar is to live in voluntary poverty.
God is my authority, and he is the only sovereign there is.
And some of them will throw in diplomatic immunity.
It's a limited diplomatic immunity. Again, see, folks are like so mind controlled, they'll say, Paulie thinks he's special. He's going to do what the servants do and have limited diplomatic immunity. Yeah, why not?
Many of them just really don't like paying tax. They won't file tax returns. They think income tax is unconstitutional. And many of them have bought into schemes on how to avoid income tax legally.
I am an autonomous government agent here to steal your livelihood.
Not so fast. I'm Sovereign Filing Solutions.
And I'm the Sovereign. We're teamed up
to bring you
the truth without censorship.
And since the government has been an illegitimate corporation since 1871, some softsits believe that Donald Trump, when he, of course, is reinstated and finally drains the swamp and does all of them arrests and all that, will become the 19th president of the United States.
Trump will not be sworn in as the 45th president of the United States on January 20th.
Trump will take office as the 19th president of the United States.
So, like, despite being intensely anti-government, they really, really, really want to taste Daddy Donald's boot. A few of them were present on the January 6th event and have attempted to use sovereign arguments in order to absolve themselves of their crimes. And some of them just aliens. Aliens! They think friendly aliens will visit Earth one day and conduct some kind of mass culling event of all the public officials because they're all evil reptilian aliens that are already here and are infiltrating our governments and banks. And 15 members of Congress signed the NISARA Act, which of course abolished the IRS and income tax, and it reintroduced all constitutional law and established world peace in the year 2000, but they kept that secret. But on the day of 9/11, this world peace agreement was meant to go public, but then something happened. Aliens!
We are not from here. We came here 900,000 years ago from star systems, star nations all around the galaxy. My sister Susan and I were mutually convinced, because both of us went up all the time, that we were really raised by our space family, the Syrians.
Well, it sounds pretty harmless, make-believe, E.T. roleplay shit, doesn't it? Who doesn't want to clap some alien cheeks?
I would like to join your alien cheek clapping club.
You might be wondering if the sovereign citizen movement's conspiracy narrative is heavily based on the American Constitution and judicial system. How on earth did it spread to other countries with entirely different histories and legal systems? But before we get into that, I would like to introduce you to today's video sponsor, Holzkern. Holzkern have a beautiful variety of accessories, all inspired by nature. Utilizing wood, stone, and nacre, they create elegantly crafted, unique watches, earrings, handbags, bracelets, and sunglasses, and I think they're absolutely stunning. Their handbag range is probably my favorite, as I've never seen anything like these pieces before and would definitely fit in paired with a casual outfit or as a going out purse. Perfect for people like me who are too lazy to transport all of their bits from one bag to another. Oh wait, I forgot for a second, most of you are men. Well, would you like a huge selection of watches, jewelry, and sunglasses that are as handsome as you are? Well, no problem. With summer coming up, you might want to check out the sunglasses range for a unique pair of shades made from sustainably sourced materials such as zebra wood, oak, leadwood, and koa. They have even partnered up with the Austrian Jane Goodall Institute to plant fruit trees in Uganda to provide income for the locals and also care for the environment, which is a pretty awesome thing to donate to, whilst also getting a cool accessory that will make you feel like you're frolicking through a meadow every time you wear it, wherever you are. And you can enjoy a special discount on their online store by clicking the link in the description and using my discount code CAT15 so you can get 15% off your order. That's CAT15 for 15% off your order. Now let's get back into the video. You see, for the sovereign